My name is Declan O'Reilly. I am Westbrook Systems' Southeast representative. I've always had an interest in horticulture. I grew up gardening with my mom in our backyard. We just had a small little garden, but we grew carrots, tomatoes, and herbs. I got some good memories of playing in the dirt, and I think that's what sparked my connection to nature and my love of plants. I learned a lot from the University of Guelph, mostly about plants, but also how important the human connection is in business. You can have the best product, but if you're as abrasive as sandpaper, you're probably going to go out of business. I thought sales was a perfect way to combine my knowledge of plants as a good way to connect to growers so that I can eventually communicate their needs to our amazing team at Westbrook. I'd say it's about being part of something bigger. The CEA industry is definitely like a team sport. My job is to take a load off the grower's plate. If I can handle the environment for them, they can focus on their job and grow the best crop possible. Every grower has their own unique problems and challenges, and I love that it's my job to help find solutions. But I'd say overall, the things the growers struggle with the most are rising labor costs, rising energy costs, and labor shortages. The rise in robotics and automation technology, I'd say, it's amazing to see what growers have done in the past and how technology is changing that. Although some of the technology is still too expensive for growers to adopt, I still think it's amazing that it exists in the first place. And fingers crossed, it'll get cheaper and eventually become commonplace. Before I answer that, I want to say that the growers will always know the most. They're in there with the plants every single day. They know it in and out. My education comes into play where I can think about the plants on a cellular level and know what they require to thrive. If I can provide an environment where they have a chance to thrive, then if I can meet the plant's needs, I automatically meet the client's needs. Well, I think that knowledge ties directly into it. For example, if I didn't understand how, say, transpiration works, I'd give you a greenhouse with no ventilation, no airflow, because I wouldn't think it's that important. It's all about understanding a plant's needs and how you can artificially manipulate that to give them as close to perfect conditions as possible. The greenhouse is really just one tool to help achieve that. Greenhouse design isn't just about making the perfect environment for plants, it's also about making it functional for the business. We need to take workflow and the business's unique challenges into consideration. Like if you have a worker that can't make it all the way to the other side of a zone in 20 minutes, that's lost productivity and increased operational costs. Fixing that before it happens directly impacts the grower's profitability. I'd say to learn to use your hands to build things. A lot of schooling is theory and calculations, which is totally useful, but once you enter the workplace, you realize how important it is to understand how things go together. Nothing beats practical experience. If you can picture in your mind how to put a bench together or a freestanding structure together, you're way ahead of the competition. Man, there's so many to choose from. I'd have to say the Eden project in the UK. They use a material called ETFE in hexagonal panels to cover domes. And then inside these many domes, they have different biomes loaded with species. It really is a plant lover's paradise. I think I'm most excited to continue learning all the little nuances on how you can change a climate ever so slightly to tailor to different crops. And with that, I'd also love to learn how you can grow a plant that's traditionally grown outside in a greenhouse. That kind of stuff really excites me.